base of a house using some unit cubes, okay? So this on the right here is supposed to represent a unit cube. It's kind of an odd thing here. A cube is a 3-dimensional object. You can think of it as a box, like a box of cereal, just a box maybe you've packed before, things like that. Okay, so it says the base of the house is in the shape of a rectangular prism. How can Kiki find the volume of the base? So the volume of this thing is length times width times height. Length times width times height. Is that okay? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I actually have to say something about this one.
Sure.
Do you know where you found this in my plan today, or when was it?
I see lesson 7.1. That's where it took me to for that. Should we look at something else?
Yeah, we should be looking at something else.
Okay, let's take a look here. Zoe, Math 5. Let's see what it says here. Continuous learning coach. What do you think that you're supposed to be working on today?
We're still working on what's it called? Graphing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but do you want me to check just in case?
if you sign in, it may kick me out. Give me just a moment here to get where I can maybe have a better idea of what's going on here.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's called Big Ideas Mini Project, and it's 13.10.
Okay. It says it's complete though. We'll take a look though. I will jump back to that and we'll look at it together. So let's continue. It says the lesson is complete, but that's okay. We'll go through it here. Did you download the mini project file?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something you want us to go through?
Yeah, it's literally just the mini project.
Okay.
Just
Let me
only it.
let me get that downloaded and then opened, and I'll have a better idea of how to help you. Okay, I see here. So have you done any of the problems in this assignment? That was a question for you. So have you done any problems in the mini project?
I don't think I have done one, but I
So
have done rest, or sometimes it just doesn't.
So here's what I
work.
see. Here's the first problem in the work it out section. Have you done
Yeah,
this?
there's 3 different ones, so I did like the first one.
Okay, but have you done this? This is in that Word document.
No, I haven't worked on this one.
Okay, so we can do this one.
Mhm.
But let me just make sure I fully understand what's going on here. It's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, we can prepare for the star. See, I don't even know where the start is because it was already at the end, but that's okay. There it is. Okay, I think I see where we can start. So just get this going here. Okay. All right. Let me snip this thing in. You can tell me if this is something that you have or have not done yet. So the in the assignment here, okay, they ask you about the X and Y coordinates.
Mhm.
Have you done this? Because it doesn't look like it's complete, but I'm not sure.
No, I haven't done this one.
Okay, so let's start here and we'll see what we can
Yes.
get done. All right. So first thing is 4,2 is an ordered pair. 4,2 is an ordered pair. Which letter does that correspond to on this graph, A or B?
I say B.
It is B, okay? And by now you're supposed to know that the first number is the X and the second number is Y. So when it asks for the X coordinate, it is asking for the first number, which is 4. The 2 is the Y coordinate. It's the second number. Okay, so you can think of this as X is the first number, Y is the second number.
Okay. X is
Is that okay so far?
yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna snip in the rest of the problem. Okay. So it says to find the point at 4,2, we start at and you always start here. Do you remember where I'm pointing at?
Origin.
The origin, yeah. So you got to spell that correctly. That's ORIGIN.
Okay.
We move blank units to the right. So you can always think of the X coordinate as right or left. So how many units to the right do you move to get to B?
4.
4. Along and it's always the X axis to start. The Y is always up or down, up or down. So whether you're moving up or down for that. So from there, so they're saying like basically like you've moved to this place right here. You're right here at this 4,0. From there you move up, right?
Yeah.
How many units up do you move though?
2.
2 units up and then it's Y axis. And then you already answered this, but it's point B.
Okay.
Okay, so the next slide has a little thing you can play, and then we get to this next one where you just have to graph some ordered pairs. Let me snip in the graph. All right, so here's the graph, and then let me get those ordered pairs. There's a bunch of them. This is all review from last week, so it should look really, really familiar. I'm gonna just label these points with letters. This is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay. And I'll just throw them on here. So A is 2,1. So you go to the right 2 and then up 1. That's A. B is 2,11. So it's right 2 and then up 11. C is 6,11. So you go right 6 and then up 11. D is right 7 and then up 10. E is right 7 and then up 7. Actually, that's gonna be a bad spot, so let me relabel that. F is 6, 6, so right 6 and then up 6. G is 2,6. And then H is 7,1. Okay, so you'll just have to label those when you go in there. We've done a bunch of those. So the next problem, let me snip this in. It's kind of an odd thing. I guess if you've never seen this before, I could see why this would be very unclear. So let's look at it together. Again, I mean, it's not, it's hard. I don't want you to try and graph these things because they're, you spend all your time trying to make the graph. Let me get a snip here of this. Okay, so do you see that there's already a point on the graph at the origin?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're saying start there. And they want you now to move to 6.5. That first number is 6.5 comma 9. All right. So 6.5 is halfway between 6 and 7.
Mhm.
So you literally go to the right to halfway between 6 and 7. And then up, well, I didn't get this all the way in, but that's 9. 9 is all the way up here. So you can estimate between the points.
Okay.
Like it's and that's a normal thing that you might be asked to do.
Mhm.
Right. And then we finally get to your mini project.
Yeah.
And let me go up and grab that question, and we'll start fresh with it down here. You do a lot of graphing as you move through math. It's
Yeah.
good that you've got this down. So it says plot points for each of the ordered pairs. So if it were me, I would do this in one color for set 1 and then a second color for set 2. That way it's clear. And then it does say to connect them. So like when you're graphing set 1, you're gonna connect all of those points. That's what it means by draw lines to make it from one point to the next in the order. Okay, so
Okay.
that first point there at 4, 4. Have you printed this out?
No.
Okay, do you have time to real quick, or is that too much effort?
This one, let's see. I don't really know how to print in my printer right now.
Okay, definitely want to get that worked on because this you're submitting this electronically.
Mhm.
Okay, now this is kind of odd, but I'm so you're going in the order that you connect, or that I'm sorry, you're going in the order that they're drawn.
Mhm.
So that the positioning is important here. And then 8, 4, 8, 4 is right there, and then 4, 4. So it's kind of back to where you started. Make those a little bit finer or thicker. All right, and then the other one. So now 5.5 comma 5.5, that's like halfway between 5 and 6. So it's no longer like on the it's not on the grid, like it's in between, and sometimes it's hard to get that perfect, but you just do your best you can. So the next one is 5.5 9.5. There's that. 7 9.5. There's that. 7.5 8.5. There's that. 7.5 6.5. There's that. And then oops, I put that that's in the wrong spot. 7.5 6.5. And then 7 5.5 right there. So I believe the idea is that it's the same shape here, although I think I've made a mistake here. 7 5.
Kind of looks like a D.
Yeah. So we'll just assume that is what they were looking for, and yeah, kind of looks like a D. So in the future, you would absolutely want to print this out in advance. So if you need me to, message dad and say, hey, printer's really important, I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, that would be better. Just message my dad or email him.
Sure. Let me just send that message right now. That way I don't get sideways later and forget here to do that. So let me send that off here to him. So for this one, if you want to, you can get started here and just start labeling the points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Actually, I labeled these all wrong because it does say to start there. So let's do it that way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. If you want to try labeling the ordered pairs for these, that would be good.
Okay, so I tell you like if it's like
I want the ordered
6.
pair for A. Yeah, 6, comma what?
Okay.
And then you can tell me at the end or as we go.
Okay. A B C D E. It stops all the way to H, right?
All the way to H, yeah. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Yeah.
I'm done.
You're done. Wow, that was fast. That's awesome. Give me just a moment here, and then
Okay.
I'll ask you for those ordered pairs, or I'll actually just write them down and you can check how you did compared to those. So let me get that. Okay, so 6,2 for A. B is 2,6. C is 3,8. And D is 5,8. How are you doing so far on this list?
Yeah, so far so good. I already
Good,
got.
good.
Yeah.
6,7,
Mhm,
7,8, and
mhm,
then G is 9,8,
mhm.
and then H is 10,6.
Yeah, I got all of them right.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so there's only one more part to this assignment, which is, it's great that we were able to get through it so quickly. So let me, all right, so here we go. So here, this says, can you create your own mystery drawing? Okay, and you need a minimum of 20 points, and you need to list the ordered pairs and in the order in which they should be connected. Okay,
Mhm.
so like the idea here is, and what I'm going to do um, is I'm going to grab a graph for us, and we're going to just maybe draw something, or I'll give you some ideas here in the time that we have. So let me get that going here. All right, so let me zoom, let me change my graph settings. Let's go 0 to 20. Step 1. 0 to 20. Step 1. Why is it the zoom so weird? Okay. I think this will be better. All right. So here we go. I'm going to snip this in. And what I have in mind here is that like you have to make a drawing in
Mhm.
this. Like you have to somehow come up with something, meaningful. And I would not make it too complicated. Okay.
Yeah.
Like for example, boy, like you could make, because they also have to all connect together.
Yeah.
Um, so what, like maybe a house comes to mind.
Mhm.
Um, something like, okay, here's, oops, let me use a different color. Actually, blue is fine. So, here is here's the house. But the thing is, they got to all connect together. So maybe that's tough. because then it's like, well, where do you go from here? Let me look for some ideas. Does anything come to mind? Something you'd like to draw or something?
How many points can I use?
It says 20. You need 20 points, which is a lot. It's really kind of a lot because even this D back here that we did was only like 10. I am not I'm not very artistic in this way, where I just come up with stuff. But like what we're talking about, I don't know if you've done these when you were a kid, but but like you can like they like make animals out of these dots that connect together.
Can it be anything
It
or?
really can be anything, yeah. You just have to be able to connect all the points together. But it's like you have to draw it so that it there's so you can think of this like here's some 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to maybe get those points better. And then you come down here, 8, 9, come back, and then you could yeah, this is where it's like, well, now what are we gonna do? I guess you could go back to the same point
Mhm.
and then create like a a front door. But then how do you get to a window? I'm not sure. It just depends on what you want to draw. Maybe letters are the best.
Yeah.
Like your name. So like, for example, you could go Z. And then what the hard part here is like, you almost actually want to go here for your name. So it's like there, maybe there, there.
But you can't like
You're not supposed to lift up your pencil.
oh,
Okay. And then that's where it's hard. You got to almost come back here and then, yeah. So another thing that comes to mind would be like a maze, but or just like a snake. So
oh yeah.
you could just draw like a bunch of, okay, here we go. There's that point. There's that point. I guess it doesn't really matter what you draw. This is not my strength, but you can see we're pretty close to 20 with something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we just need to go a little further on this. But this would be an idea, maybe go down and then. But I don't know what it is, maybe some steps. You could do maybe that's the easiest one to do here. So like you could just build some stairs.
Yeah.
That, and it goes down. Down. And that's probably clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that, I mean, that would probably be the most simplistic thing to do.
Yeah, I think I'll do that one.
All right. Well, I'm glad we came up with something here. It's sometimes I run out of ideas, but that will do it for us. Zoe, if you want to let Michael know that I'm ready for him, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Hope you have a great couple of days.
Okay, thank you. Michael's gonna come in a different computer, by the way.
Sounds good. Hey, Michael.
Hey,
Hey, Michael, how are you today?
good.
That's great to hear. How was your weekend?
Uh, good.
All right. Did you do anything fun?
Yeah.
Tell me something fun that you did this weekend.
I played on my Nintendo. Actually, I didn't. I watched TV
You watch
and
TV? Okay. Anything else? You said you're about to say did you get a high score in your game?
yeah, I was playing it right now.
Nice. Nice. Okay, fantastic. So I know you just started school and with Zoe, I was actually a little bit behind or I went ahead too far. Do you remember what you were working on today in class?
Some like like fractions,
Fractions?
but you
Maybe.
want to know what how much it was.
Okay. Yeah, I see comparing fractions in our lesson today. So I think we'll start there and get going. But before we do that, looks like they've got some warm-up stuff. So we'll look at that first. Do you have a notebook out, a pencil out for today?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing here, and just you probably already seeing my screen. Looks like you're already seeing this right here. So whenever you're ready, I'd like the answers to these multiplication problems.
9 times 10 is 90, and 9 times 6 is 50, 54.
Good.
3 times 9 is 27. And 8 times 9 is 72.
Okay. Very good. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Some more multiplication. You seem pretty strong on that. Let's just do one more set of these, and then we'll move on to something else. So here we go. Let me snip these in. Just put it side by side here. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and give me the those answers.
Okay. 9 times 8, 72. 5 times 9, 45. 9 times 4, 36. 3 times 9 is 27.
Very good. You got that down. Your multiplication is really strong. It's really picked up from earlier in the year. So it's great to see. All right. So here's a problem. It's kind of a word problem in a way. Let's look at it together, and you can tell me what you see here. All right, it says Jada and Raj are eating pizza. Okay. And it tells you, it's kind of like, you and your sister. It's like, all right, this is Zoe's pizza, this is Michael's pizza. What do you notice about the size of the pizzas?
No, one is smaller and another one is bigger.
Which one is smaller or which one is larger?
Uh, my sister's pizza and my pizza.
Well, you got to tell me, you got to give me a full sentence like my pizza is blank compared to my sister's pizza.
My pizza is bigger than
Very
my.
good. Very good. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at an actual fraction. So we've looked at a number of these over the past few weeks. How do we compare fractions with unlike denominators? See how the bottom numbers are not the same?
Yeah,
How do you compare those? What do you remember what we do to be able to compare these when they're unlike denominators?
multiply them.
We have to make them the same. Yeah. Okay. So do you remember what numbers we multiply each of them by?
Wait, 5. Wait, 1.
So you always look, if you're looking at the 2/5, the one on the left, you multiply by this number on the right. So I'm having just a small technology problem here. Let's let this sync up. Okay, so when like this 2 here, you multiply both of these on the left by 2.
Okay.
What does that become?
2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 2 is 10.
Good. And then
Multiply 2.
this 5 over here on the left, you multiply each of these by 5 on the right.
Okay.
What does
1
that?
times 5 is 5, and 2 times 5 is 10.
Good. Okay. All right. So very good. Now, how do you compare? How do you decide which fraction is larger now that they have the same bottoms?
Uh, uh, less than?
Yes. Very good. And did you mean that symbol right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look to see which number on top is larger.
Okay.
Okay. So let me give you one to try here. I want you to compare 3/8 and 1/3, just like we did in the previous problem.
Okay. Less than
Okay. What are your two fractions?
2, 3.
What goes up top? I'm asking for the number on the top and then the bottom.
Oh, okay. 9
Over.
over. Sorry, that pen. I don't have a pen to write with because.
Okay, well, you're going to need one. So go grab one and come back whenever you've got something you can write with pen, pencil. Uh,
Okay. I got the pen.
you've got it. What's the number on the bottom?
24.
Good. Okay. And how about on the right here? What is this fraction?
8.
Over.
24.
Good. Okay. Now, same question as before. What goes in the middle? Is it bigger than or less than?
Greater than.
Yes. Very good. Okay. All right. I believe you do understand this. So let's look at another problem here. Let's look at a fraction let's look at a circle that's been cut up as a fraction. All right, Michael. So tell me what you see here. Give me what you see in your own words, please.
I see a 5 circle shaped and 2 shaded in.
Okay, so a circle. So would you say 2 divided by 5 here?
Yeah.
Because there's 2 shaded out of 5 total.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, now let me grab this other one on the right here. Let's do the same thing here. Tell me how many shaded over total, please.
4.
over.
over 6.
So 5 on the left here, 5 is the total number of slices. How many slices do you have here?
Oh. 10.
10. Good. Okay. Now, do you remember how to reduce a fraction?
No.
We're going to divide both of these numbers by 2. What is 4 divided by 2?
Uh, is 2.
Okay. What is 10 divided by 2?
5.
Good. Okay. Now, are the fractions the same?
Yes.
Okay. They're the same fractions. Okay. But are they the same circles?
No.
No. Very important. No, they are not. Okay. So let's look at the full question now. See if we can get the right answer. It looks kind of overwhelming at first, but you already know how to answer this. You just have to put it all together here and choose the correct answer. Okay. All right, so I'll read it out loud. You go ahead and listen. Darnell compares the shaded regions of these two circles and concludes that the shaded areas are equal. Which statement correctly explains why Darnell's conclusion is reasonable or not reasonable? Basically, why is he right or why is he wrong? And he is wrong, because you just said the circles are not the same. So I want you to look at these 4 answers and tell me which one says that these circles are not the same.
Out loud.
You just tell me the right answer, whether it's A, B, C, or D.
B.
Yes. Very good. Is that difficult?
Not really.
Not really. That's good. Okay. Let's go forward here. All right. So you're done with that lesson. Nice. We can move on to something new. Do you feel like you're understanding math better than you were, say, a year ago?
Yeah.
I think you're understanding it even better than, say, like a month ago or 2 months ago when you're before the end of the semester. How is your is it taekwondo or jujitsu that you're doing?
I used to do taekwondo, but
Ta-
I did it too.
Cool. How's that going?
Good.
All right. So this problem here is asking you, I'm just gonna write it out here. I want you to compare these 2 fractions. Okay, so I want you to tell me what 2 new fractions to write. You can either say it out loud or wait till you're done, but I want the 2 new fractions
Okay.
for this.
Do I reproduce?
Yes.
Okay. So I divide the bottoms or the tops.
No, you're not dividing. Let's go back and look at a problem you did already. I'm asking you to do something like this one.
Oh,
This
okay.
problem right here. So you made the bottoms the same.
Oh,
Okay. So go ahead and take a look at this.
I'm having a little bit trouble.
Do you have a question for me?
Yeah.
What is your question? Go ahead and tell me or ask.
I don't know which one is.
Okay, so you take the number on the right here, the bottom right, this 5, and you multiply both of these numbers on the left by 5.
Oh, okay. And I multiply 3 to 4 times and 5.
Yes, 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 exactly.
Okay.
Let me know when you have your correct answer.
Okay. 10 over 15 and 12 over 15.
Okay, so which is correct? Is it greater than, less than, or equal to?
Less than.
It is less than, yeah. Very good. All right, now let's look at what your problem is actually asking for, because it's actually asking for the same thing, but I want to make sure you know how to answer it.
Okay.
Actually, it's slightly different. I take that back. Okay, so let's look at this problem. All right, so let me just snip this in. It's kind of awkward, but it's okay. All right, so here we go. Let me snip this in here. So this new problem, it says, what fraction with a numerator of 8 is equivalent to each fraction? Okay, so it's saying like, I really want an 8 in the numerator. What do you multiply 2 by to get to 8?
4.
4. Okay, so if you multiply the top by 4, you multiply the bottom by 4. So what number goes in the bottom?
12.
Yes. Okay, and then it's the same thing for this other one. They give you another fraction. Okay, it says the same idea though. They want 8 in the numerator. So what do you multiply 4 by to get to 8?
2. 2.
Times 2. So you multiply the bottom number by,
2.
okay, what goes there? What's 8? What's 5 times 2?
10.
10. Okay, good. All right. So did you understand that?
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay, it's a little weird, but let's do another one here. We're almost done anyway, so we'll have more time on Wednesday to do some more practice. But this is the same type of question, but now it wants a numerator of 6. Okay, numerator of 6. So basically, you've got to tell me, Michael, because I already know 6 goes in the top. What number goes in the bottom?
Okay. Multiply 6.
Well, it's like, how do you go from 3 to 6? What do you multiply 3 by to get to 6?
Okay, I got it.
And then I just want the number in the bottom for each of these.
3. Wait, do I say out loud?
Sure, whenever you're done, whenever you know the answer.
Wait. 3, it's 2.
Yep, but what do you get? What number do you get on the bottom here?
Multiply 2 by 5, right?
Yes.
Oh, 10.
Okay, and then how about down here on this second one? How do you go from 2 to 6?
3.
Okay, so what number goes in the bottom?
Uh, 3. I mean, no. So
You multiply by 3.
it's kind of getting confusing now.
Okay, but you just said you multiply 2 by 3. So what do you multiply the 4 by?
Oh,
It's the same number.
12.
Yes. Very good. Okay, this is probably good enough as any place for us to stop. Hang on just a second here.